Hello fellow wand lovers. EX Augments are finally here! With the introduction of the Aerodem weapons series, it is now possible to loot new augments with unique effects, and apply them to your weapons. Today we'll be going to see which EX augment combinations currently exist, and are worth checking out. There are 23 EX augments in the game right now. It seems one of them isn't obtainable as of yet, so I am gonna ignore it in this video. Each EX augment can drop with one of 5 different suffixes. These will determine the secondary stats you'll get from the augments, and aren't as important as getting the correct augments themselves. Those are the main meat and potatoes you're after. However, not only are you going to want to get the correct augments, but ideally also the correct augment combinations as well. First up, we have the EX Stealth Wall. This augment reduces damage taken when you are holding aggro, but on the flip side, if you don't have aggro, you end up dealing extra damage. This augment pairs really well with EX Dazzle Camouflage, which reduces the aggro built up by attacks. This essentially makes it possible to reliably use EX Stealth Wall and Long Range Advantage, without the need of the Ranger subclass. It also lessens the reliance on skilled players in your party to hold aggro for you. Next up we have EX Risky Stance. Now, this augment is slightly mistranslated. It triggers when you deal damage to the enemy, and not when receiving damage. But anyway, when you deal damage, there is a 30% chance of restoring 10 PP, and a 10% chance of receiving 1 damage. Not 1%, just 1 damage. Very risky indeed. Both of these are on a short cooldown, and tie nicely into EX Patient Defense. This augment increases your damage resistance by 5% every time you take damage, up to a total of 25%. This bonus resets if you don't take damage for 30 seconds. But wait, there is more! The Augment EX Endure Pain PB Boost also ties nicely into this combo, filling your Photon Blast gauge by 2% when you take damage, after a short cooldown. It's called Risky Stance, but all I see are benefits to toughen yourself up. For a more spicier combo, we have EX Shortage PP Burn Up. After depleting 100 PP, this augment inflicts burn onto yourself, while disabling the potency penalty of said status effect. While on fire, you boost your natural PP recovery by 30%. This ties nicely with EX Hysterical Strength. Said augment boosts potency, your offensive PP recovery, and your damage resistance. Since you're dealing damage to yourself, you can of course combo these augments together with the 2 we mentioned in the previous combo. If you're a heal slut. I mean, if you want to improve your party healing capabilities, you can try using EX Fortune Sign. This augment gives a chance to not consume a Rista Sign when using one. It can be paired up with EX Lively HP Starlings. This augment boosts your damage further when you're above 95% of your max HP, and even provides a little bit of damage resistance. If you want to go a step further, you could also run Waker subclass, simply to increase your chances of not consuming any Rista Sign when using them. Additionally, you can use EX Sign Shielding, in order to boost your damage resistance once by 20%, every time you use a Resta or Reverser Sign. This will make you slightly less reliable on your own Rista Sign, and you'll be able to focus more on healing your party members. Now I'd like to talk about EX Tri-Shield. While this augment has nothing to really combo with, on Tector it is quite interesting. If you remember my Tector guide, I stated that any guard frames trigger Photonic Furies. This also applies to Tri-Shield. So not only does this augment provide us with extra defenses, but also boosts our offense a little bit. There is also EX Just Frame Counter. While it doesn't combo with anything specific, I think it is worth mentioning, because the ability to go into a step counter right after a perfect recovery is quite cool. And that covers the few really good combos you can do right now. There are of course a few more augments I didn't go over, some of which are really powerful, but they are more or less standalone. And if you wonder what combo I went with, well, I decided to get a Stealth Wall combo, and supplement it with EX Enemy Field PP Gauge. This basically gives me the benefits of Ranger and Force subclass, while playing the Tector Bouncer class combo. But if I were to stay Tector Force, I'd probably swap out one of the augments for EX Tri-Shield. What's ultimately important is that you feel comfortable with your augments. If you think you die too much to the point where clearing high difficulty quests becomes impossible, it's completely fine to get yourself a combo that overcompensates on your defenses. Previously you'd need to equip a Hunter subclass to achieve a similar effect, and there is no shame in doing that. If you want only 2 augments out of a 3 augment combo, and have something standalone in the 3rd slot, that's fine too. The combos I outlined today aren't strictly better than augments that don't necessarily combo off of each other. But that's all for today's video. It's short and sweet, and to be honest, I really want to get back to grinding Nameless City. As always, a huge shout out to all these wonderful people you're seeing on the screen right now. I'll see you in game. Take care!